Hey guys, it's Jack. I wanted to let you know that we're starting a new push for subscriptions here on Human Events Daily. So make sure that when you're listening to this podcast, you hit subscribe, you download it, and you share it with 5 of your friends. Make sure they're all going and downloading as well, because we need to get the signal out as much as possible. Look, we've done so much over the past couple of years since this show started, and we're only going to do so much more. Let's get it. This is what happens when the fourth turning meets fifth generation warfare.
A commentator, international social media sensation, and former Navy intelligence veteran.
This is Human Events with your host, Jack Posobiec.
Christ is king!
The vigilante citizen is delivering a brand of justice that some believe the authorities have failed to provide, targeting both criminals and those in power accused of allowing crime to flourish unchecked.
There's been a lot said about me, so I thought you should hear directly from me. I'm here to help you take that control back.
The state, court, police. See, you think that they've failed you, but they haven't. No, they only exist to control you. Do you want justice?
Yes. Let's get some fresh blood. You walk down the street and you get stabbed or robbed.
He's a real hero.
We need more guys like this.
What does your country do? Nothing.
Our current system is failing to protect our citizens.
He's like the real deal.
He's playing with us.
What if everything they ever taught you was utter nonsense? We can change history.
Edition of Human Events Daily. Today is June 24th, 2026, Anno Domini. And boy, do we have a huge show for you today. We're so excited. We have an exclusive interview with the director, with the writer, and the producer of Citizen Vigilante. Uwe Boll joins us now here on Human Events Daily. Uwe, thank you so much for being here.
No, I'm very happy and honored to be here. Very good.
Well, it just right off the start, I have to say your film obviously has become a huge smash online, and yet we're told that it's banned on screens in Germany. Why would Germany do this?
Yeah, because they have a rating system, and this rating system is also kind of a political rating system. So they think that movie is like enticing violence. You know, people could basically do what the guy is doing in the film, and so they don't want to give it a rating. So it's not like banned, but nobody will show it because it doesn't have a rating. So it's basically banned. And I'm suing them for it. I'm going for it's against the Constitution. You know, it's completely ridiculous to do this kind of censorship for a movie or a book or anything, you know, and it's insane, I have to say. And as a German myself, I'm extremely mad about it.
Well, you know, I actually happened to pull up a film house in Munich right now to see. I said, okay, what's playing over there? I see, okay, well, there's a film called The Odyssey. That's a movie that's got tons of violence in there. It's a war movie, as all war movies do. There's the movie Obsession, which of course has just come out, and there's a lot of violence in that movie as well. Friend violence, interpersonal violence, and there's the movie Django Unchained. Django Unchained, Quentin Tarantino films are not exactly known for being family friendly as well. So anyone could say that about a movie that has guns or violence or action. And of course, by the way, vigilante films are very well known, from Batman to John Wick Death Wish, Dirty Harry. This is a genre of film that has been going on for more than 50 years. So clearly, I agree with you. This must be some kind of political issue that they have with the film because there's obviously lots and lots of movies out there, even today, with violence.
Yeah, exactly. The violence level of the film is an R rating, period. And it's just, look, here we have victims, and I put it in the end credits of the film too, that movie is dedicated to all the women in Europe who got left alone by the law, and with that is what I put in the end. So many cases of random rapes, random stabbings, random violence happened based on mass migration, period. That are the statistics. That's the reality. And I was mad about it. I'm still mad about it. And I think it's not solving the situation to disallow movies about it or to shut people up, or like in England, to put people in jail who say what's going on. And that's now the crazy world we're living in a way. It's this kind of, okay, you point out facts, and if the facts don't fit the political ideas of the current governments, and I think Germany and England are absolutely similar with this, then it's like, okay, then the facts nobody should know. Nobody should talk about this because we look bad with our policies we do. And that's the situation we're living in. And I'm very happy that the movie, in a way, went viral, and millions and millions of people, at least in the US and Canada right now, watching it on the streaming services, what is good. In Europe, it's soon coming out.
Uwe, hold that thought. We're going to come on a quick commercial break. Just take a quick break for a few minutes because I want to delve into the success, why it's happening, and why it was that you wanted to make this movie in the first place. Jack Posobiec, right back.
Stand in our way, and our golden age has just begun.
This is Human Events with Jack Posobiec.
Now it's time for everyone to understand what America First truly means. Welcome to the Second American Revolution.
All right, Jack Posobiec, we are back live. Human Events Daily, Real America's Voice. Folks, America's hitting 250 years, and we're fighting for its soul right now. Culture, economy, who gets your dollar? That's the battle. Most wireless companies, they don't care what you stand for. They just want your cash. Well, Patriot Mobile is different. For more than 12 years, they've stood with Americans like us, backing the Christian conservative movement when everyone else stayed silent or worse. And here's the deal. You don't have to give up quality or service when you switch to Patriot Mobile. They deliver premium priority access on all 3 major U.S. networks. So you'll get the same coverage better than you have today. Think switching is a hassle? It isn't. Keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Their 100% US-based customer support team can activate you in minutes. If you're still paying off a device, Patriot Mobile even offers you a contract buyout. This is a defining year. We are in a fight for America's soul, and we have to work together to save our country. Go to patriotmobile.com/POSO or call 972-PATRIOT. Use promo code POSO for a free month of service, patriotmobile.com/POSO, or call 972-PATRIOT. Make the switch today. All right, guys, let's play SOT 2-1 coming out of this. SOT 2-1.
What was it? Traumatic integration?
We're all getting mental help now and support. We will be better in the future. I promise that.
It's the right answer. The only problem is that on your social media, since the event, I have not seen any regret or empathy. In fact, I think you said that she deserved to be raped.
What I mean is that they dress wrong and just make boys horny with their mini skirts. They show their legs and breasts.
You wrote that she deserved it.
I will delete it.
Are these the values you're teaching your children?
I teach him the values from Quran and these values from our family.
Well, if these are your values, that women in America and Europe deserve to be raped because of a dress code, why did you come here?
You know that we have several war in our country, and we have a dangerous life. That's why we are here. And I think you know that.
Do you know what I think?
Why?
I don't think it was the good ones that got out of your country. I think it was the bad ones. And I think you brought with you your archaic value system and your commitment.
All right, we're on with the director of the film clip you just saw, Uwe Boll, right now. And Uwe, we were talking about your motivations to want to make this film. For me, this clip right here obviously speaks for itself that this is a clash of civilizations, that there are so many victims, as you mentioned. Walk us through the process that went through your mind in creating this film.
I mean, looking the news every day, and there was a case in Hamburg, in Germany, where I think 9 young migrants deserved a girl from Hamburg, and she was 15 at the time. And then after a long lawsuit, basically,
I remember that
they all
case.
got off. You know, they got like, oh, you're guilty, but you're traumatized, you're too young, whatever. So nobody of these guys was longer in jail as like a few months. And the press and the judge at that time said like the perpetrators were victims also. And they sugarcoated the whole thing. And I thought at that moment when I followed this case, like, okay, so now the perpetrators are back 2 blocks away, because it was all in one neighborhood, from the raped girl. And she has to live with it, that the 9 guys are basically living around the corner again. And that cut it for me. You know, that was like, I mean, I read so much about this, but that was for me like no, like, that's like ridiculous and unbelievable that the woke left government in Germany tries to sugarcoat this kind of behavior only because they have that idea that mass migration makes everything better and more colorful and great. And when you show this kind of, we had that at the Gaza situation, I will not forget, I was in Frankfurt in a restaurant, and there came like a Palestinenser, Free Palestine, whatever, demonstration train protected by the police. They had a demonstration, Free Gaza, on the streets. And the woman with the burqa on top of the car was like yelling, like basically kill the police and kill the Christians and kill basically the Western civilization. And she was protected by the Western civilization in the middle of Frankfurt, right? And I felt like, what are we doing here? Are we completely, how brain dead you have to be in like accepting this? And everybody who doesn't accept that, like what I'm saying here, then in Europe, they would right away say, ooh, there's a Nazi, whatever. You know, but I made a movie about Auschwitz, by the way, that we shouldn't forget Auschwitz. You know, but that's all like, doesn't matter. They are brainwashed in a way we never had it in the last 30, 40 years ever, where you have crystal clear criminal and bad behavior. You know, if you make a nice demonstration in Iran for gay marriage, you will see what in Iran happens with you. You know, like the demonstration is relatively fast over and you are dead. So, and from this kind of countries, we're taking people in, and it's just like I'm speechless about this, and I'm speechless about this kind of like when you bring the facts to the table, that then they flipping out and say you are a racist or something. No, I'm not. You know, I'm okay living in a country where a lot of different cultures are, but any kind of behavior, like violent behavior or not accepting the rules of the country you migrate in, has to be you're out of this country, like right away. And not like, oh, now you're here, you have all the rights, like you are born here, and the best is we give you voting rights also that we have everywhere, whatever the Sharia law coming up. So it's really like this kind of, I know nobody would do a movie like this. There's not one movie like this. None.
So,
And when I finished the movie, I'm very happy about Barry and Larry from Quiver, from the distribution company, that they took it on and fighting with me that people watch that film, because nobody else wanted to buy it. Not one studio, not one streamer said, oh, let's buy this film. That's the best idea ever. No, they were like, oh my God, you cannot do this, and that's, I think it's ridiculous in a democracy also, that the stuff what gets produced in Hollywood or whatever, it's all like streamlined in one direction. And if you make a movie against the stream,
and
against
so
the majority, yeah.
So when you set out to even just make the film in the first place, did you face hurdles? What kind of challenges did you face just getting a team together, getting actors together, crew, everything?
I mean, I was very lucky that Armie Hammer was available, and that he liked the script. He saw how strong his character is. And look at him. He would be the best James Bond, by the way.
Yes.
They're looking for all kinds of James Bonds, maybe whatever, Chinese or a woman. No, he would be the good James Bond. But that's a different subject matter.
Not British, but yes.
Yeah, no, not British, but he can pull it off.
Yeah.
And and but people to two streamers, I sent the script, and they right away said, there is no way that we're getting involved with a movie like this. And I said, why? You remember the old days where movies mattered, like JFK, Taxi Driver, Apocalypse Now, like the movies I grew up with, they were all relevant. They were all hitting on reality hard and reflecting reality. And now, in this area we live now, it's all sugar-coated or spaced away, like fantasies without any relevance. I think as a director, you have to make movies. They are about now and what's going on. They have to reflect the reality we're living in. And I try this.
And so when you want to make a film that's based on the reality, and especially the reality of, they use this phrase, the lived experience, right? Well, what about the lived experience of that 15-year-old girl in Hamburg, Germany? What about the lived experience here in the United States? We have case after case of illegal migrants, Rachel Morin, Jocelyn Nungary, again, Laken Riley. There's so many that I could list over and over and over. What about the lived experiences of them and their families and those people? Do they matter or do they not matter? And to your point, there are people behind the scenes who are making decisions to say, we're not going to show that because that would go against our agenda, rather than saying, there wasn't one film. The one time they showed something like this was the movie Sicario back 2015, 2016. It was the only time they ever showed even, direct cartel activity and having the U.S. government, a group of, in that case, they were agents, but a group of people kind of going rogue and doing something about it. That was the one time out of, you see, and to your point, there's so many movies that get made now because of the new models that they have for streamlined film, that everything gets made over and over and over, and yet they never make a film like this. We have a quick break coming up. I want to tell everyone and urge everyone, don't pirate this movie. Go out, purchase it, rent the download, buy Blu-ray copies. I bought a number of the Blu-ray packages with the signed copies, signed posters, etc. Go, you can find those as well. I put it's a Yippee video, so I put that up as well, Yippee-ki-yay. And go and actually support this movie with your dollars. Don't just stream it for free, because this is the type of thing that we need to get behind. Jack Posobiec, right back with more Uwe Boll.
About influencers. These are influencers, and they're friends of mine. Jack Posobiec. Where's Jack? Jack, who's done a great job.
All right, folks, Jack Posobiec back live, Human Events Daily, Real America's Voice. Very excited to be on today with director Uwe Boll from the new film Citizen Vigilante. I want to play another clip from this film, a moment where he's on a bus, the main character, the Citizen Vigilante, he's on this bus, and he's got some interesting words for a couple of fare jumpers.
Fine. $150 times 3, $450. There you go. Let me just give you a change.
Keep the change.
Thank you very much. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Who we are and what we do has ramifications in our lives and in the lives of everyone around us. You don't understand? All right, pay attention. Let me explain this to you. If you get onto a bus and you don't pay your ticket, if you go to the movie theater, if you grab a banana at a grocery store and you don't pay, eventually the cost of everything will go up. If 10% doesn't pay, the cost will go up 10% to cover the loss. And that's not fair. You might not understand this, but think about it. I'm sure you'll come to the right decision.
You're going to look back at this moment and realize.
All right, now, Uwe, I loved this scene. I thought this scene was phenomenal. I think this is something that really needs to be taught over and over and over because schools do not teach any of basic economics to anyone anymore. But I also heard in another interview, was this based on something that actually happened to you?
Yes. And I'm not like Army Hammer, so I I didn't have that long interaction with them. I told them only what they are, basically, and but it's my favorite scene of the film. It's not the most spectacular film, but I think it summarizes it all up. If you are only take out of society, the society will fail and goes under. And I grew up with rules and moral, and I always got basically teach also by my mother to say, look, you always need an inner accounting. You should not owe anything to anybody. So you should pay for what you buy and whatever, and don't try to be a freeloader or anything, and make sure that you give, So, and I think these basics are all almost gone today. I mean, I'm like looking around, and I think a lot of people, a lot of young people also, they don't have this moral compass anymore, and they don't care. As long as they can suck something out, they're like, yeah, I got it. And if after me there is no life and no society and no kind of economy left, then I don't care. So that is, I put that basically in this scene as a little reflection on what I feel is going on. It's like looting.
It felt
We
like a
see
very
all the time in
personal.
America. Yeah.
When I was watching it, it felt like a very personal scene. It felt like something that you were speaking through the screen to a lot of people because look here in the United States, we've just had an election in New York City where Mandami, who is our new mayor there, has come in and he's actually promised free buses to everyone. And now he's electing more people promising free buses and the socialism. But what's interesting is that the free buses have never come to fruition, so they don't exist. And now they have to put signs on the buses that say, this bus is not free because people were going on and they were not paying on the bus because he promised everyone this. So yes, of course, a socialist who lied. Not the first time that we've heard that before, but it actually speaks to exactly what you're talking about. If people are not paying, the system cannot function. But then along will come these political figures who promise that, and they can get so much attention, but the system will always fail behind them.
Yeah, and you only if you say the bus is free and everything is free in New York, as an example, then you only have a short-term kind of sympathy boost before you tank it all. I mean, it's just economically one and one, where like maybe everybody loves you first if you're the mayor, if you're a president of a country, and you say, oh, look, you get it all for free, healthcare, whatever. So, but it doesn't work, because in the end, everything goes bankrupt, and then nobody gets anything anymore. So, and that's the thing, what I think when you get a little older, as me, or you're intelligent from the beginning on, and you put one and one together, then you know and feel that this kind of policies never work. There's not one socialistic or communist country in the world where people are rich, where you have a real middle class. I know a lot of left-wing people in Germany here, and they all think that's the solution. And the reality is, in any form of socialism, in the very end, you have 5 guys like Putin or whatever, they own everything, like all of it. And all these millions and millions of people in America or in Europe who are doing well and are successful, they're all like only as long they can do something with whatever, they're an oligarchs serving a dictator. And when the dictator don't like you anymore, he throws you out of the window. So, and that's socialism in action. And all these people who, when they're young, they think socialism is the solution. No, it's not. It's always the end of any form of middle class or good life for the normal person.
Exactly right. I couldn't agree more. And it's not actually about helping people, because it doesn't ever help people. It doesn't have it. It's never been successful. It's never, anyone can look to East Germany when people were trying to flee from East Germany. People were willing to face guards and climb the wall and be shot and have the Stasi come after them just so they could get to West Germany, so they could experience freedom because of what was going on in East Germany in that communism. We don't have to go back very far to see an example of this. I am being told, by the way, folks, that President Trump is actually giving an impromptu press gaggle. So what I want to do is we're going to throw to that very quickly to hear what the president has to say, and then we will be right back.
So I think we had a really great meeting, and we're very proud of the party. We like our leader. We like everybody really in the room. I don't like a few people, but that's okay. I think you know who they are. But I'll give you that information someday. But for the most part, we have a really well-unified party. And I said it very strongly. We have the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're the most powerful. We're the smartest. We're the most respected. 2 years ago, we were a laughingstock all over the world. We had a terrible group of people representing us. Every leader, I just left G7, every leader, and we had a lot of people in addition to G7, as you know, came. Everyone said, what we've done in a year and a half is a miracle. We have the hottest country in the world, and we want to keep it that way. We have more factories being built right now than we have at any point, at any time in the history of our country. And all of those factories are opening up soon. It's all jobs. And our job numbers are incredible anyway. I see that oil just broke the $70 number. Who would have thought that was going to happen? And that's during a war. And Iran is being very nice. They're agreeing to everything that I want. And they have to. Otherwise, we just go back and do what we have to do. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, that was the President of the United States. Of course, he's meeting with the Senate. We know that that housing bill, which a lot of people were getting behind, a lot of people wanted to see get passed. That's something that he's holding up. He said, we're doing a full work stoppage. President Trump is going on strike, as it would seem, with the United States Senate until the Save America Act is passed. He's going on strike in terms of legislation until he gets that Save America Act passed. And you just have to admire the fact that he's willing to play hardball with these politicians up there in their elitist club of the Senate. So we will see more as it rolls through on that. I want to go play one more clip here from Citizen Vigilante as we have the director on. He's been so gracious with his time today. This is a clip where the judge in that gang rape case is confronted by the citizen vigilante.
Hope you're not feeling too nauseous, Judge. That shot I gave you, it's going to be very suspicious when that turns up in your blood, isn't it? Let's hope they don't run a toxicology report on your body. Or who knows? Maybe you have a bit of a tolerance for heroin. You seem to like heroin dealers anyway. How many of them have you let back onto the street? The laws are meant to protect the victims, right? It's not the perpetrators. Maybe that's when you lost your North Star. When you started using the laws to help people hurt people. You know, it's not just the perpetrators. You cause collateral damage, Judge. It's people like you letting people get away with rape and murder. Excusing their behavior. Letting people get away with rape and murder.
6 boys raped a 14-year-old girl. I saw your interview in front of the courthouse. I saw you say that these boys just had an adjustment issue.
All right, well, that was an incredible scene there from this situation, and it reminds me of course, the great Gerard Butler film of law-abiding citizens set in my hometown of Philadelphia, as a matter of fact. Uwe Boll is the director. He's on here with us. In this scene, are you talking about the entire change that people have had when it comes to the law? Because I've seen this. This was sort of a viral conversation on Twitter where someone was saying, "Well, if I uh, if someone steals from me, let's make it about theft again. If someone steals from me, then I've lost maybe a $2,000. Let's say it's a motorbike or something. But if I report them and they're underage, then I'm ruining their life. So maybe I should not make the report." Isn't that what we're talking about here? The idea of should we allow criminal behavior versus should we coddle and be gentle to the actors who commit criminal behavior?
Yeah, look, that I compare it with when San Francisco allowed shoplifting, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, what is the message? Like, okay, the message is for the store owner who is the victim, like, okay, now I cannot even do anything about it anymore because it's legal. So I better close my shop. And in San Francisco, a lot of shops were closed. And because shoplifting is also kind of robbery is then maybe allowed, right? So it's not only you take things from the shelf and say, I'm leaving, and nobody stops you. And the next step is you hold them at gunpoint, say, look, it's basically shoplifting. Give me the cashier, like the money you have in, and that should be allowed too. And I think that's the thing what happened in the last 10, 15 years in North America and in Europe, that it's this kind of, we want to be so good and so helpful to everybody, you know, that we basically overlook the damage against the society, against the victims, and so on. But also, we overlook exactly what you said. You don't do a favor to the perpetrator if you don't punish them, because then they will just do harder and harder crimes as the result. You know, that it is completely naive to think like when somebody is already kind of a criminal, that, and if you don't prosecute him at all, that he out of the blue says, you know what, I think the society is so good for me. Now I turn into a plumber and give up my drug dealing business. So that's just naive. It never works, you know. So and that's for me this total absurdity, that they're all big in talking, but they're very bad in doing anything, bringing anything in action, like in regards of crime, but also in regards of, for example, migration integration. You know, people coming in and then they dump them in like housing somewhere and then they do nothing, you know. And I mean, that's ridiculous. It's like just a total wasted resource what we do. That's the reason that I feel we have enough migration and we should stop migration out of countries where people come in who cannot, like, we don't benefit from them. It's only the other way around. And it brings us nothing. And why we should bring us in a security risk. Why this girl was stabbed in the subway in America, that Ukrainian girl, right? Why? For what? We should never went in that risk at all. Why? She's only dead because that guy was 15 times out of jail, because every single time somebody said, you know what, he's a poor guy. He has mental problems, yeah. And then, okay, we just have him like, having a good time in the subway, and stabs her. Why? Why that guy is alive, to be honest, right? Why this guy can run around and do this after being arrested multiple times?
It's horrific. And the key is it's preventable. Every single one of these atrocities is preventable, whether it's migrant violence or violence from a repeat criminal. It's because society has become so soft on crime that society has become so unwilling to use the actual justice system for the purpose that it was designed to keep the regular people safe, to keep law-abiding people safe. And people like Irina Zarutska or Henry Novak or all of the victims of these rapes, to keep them safe. We've only got a few more minutes with you, Director, and I wanted to ask, what is the best way for people to support this film, to raise awareness about it, and then also, of course, and I keep saying over and over, make sure that you put money behind your support of this film. What is the best thing people can do?
Yeah, right now it's on Amazon and Apple, Fandango, Google Play. So to rent it there or buy it there properly, that would really help. Of course, there are always people, they want to watch everything for free, but that's a completely independent financed movie. That's not like paid by Netflix or a huge corporation. I did this myself because I really wanted to put that subject matter out in the open and have that discussion, what we should have with the whole world. And I also want that movie, in a way, has it opens a political discussion, what hopefully leads to action. So we cannot afford to give our countries and the freedom up. So, and I think that's what the movie is in a way about and representing. In Europe, slowly but steady now, besides Germany, where we cannot get out right now, but in Austria or Switzerland, in England, soon this movie will roll out there. And also there, even if people illegal watch it, please then whatever, like, buy it still when it's available to refinance the budget in a way, And I, of course, would love if I had on Paramount Plus a big success with my first shift, New York pro cop series, what is pro police and not against police, and it was a big hit on Paramount Plus, and maybe Paramount Plus can buy this movie now. That would be very good.
Of course. Well, I don't have any direct connections over there with Paramount Plus, but I'll see what I can do, and definitely will use my Twitter account and whatever other communications apparatus that I have to be able to get it out to anywhere. And by the way, I think, let me ask you, do you or let me just say, I don't know if he's seen it yet, but I got to tell you that President Trump is a really big fan of action movies. He loves Pulp Fiction. I think that he might like this film. Do you think President Trump would like this film?
100%. It's definitely not boring, and it's under 2 hours. What is also, I think, I hate that all the movies now are 2.5, 3 hours long. I just cannot stand it anymore. Any superhero movie now is 2.5 hours long, and
too much.
I think the people just want to watch something else. When you read like Superwoman is starting now, but who cares? I mean, who wants Superwoman? It's just like they throw so much money in this stuff, and nobody really wants to watch that. And I feel that's the way, like the Falling Down was a great movie with Michael Douglas. There are movies we all lived and grown up with, and where are all these movies? Like nobody makes these movies. They all have only like computers now, algorithms deciding what movies getting produced, and I come from a different thing. I think like you have to be provocative, but you have to be always entertaining. The biggest, basically, crime you can do making movies is to bore the people. And I was so many times, even with Oscar-winning movies, the last 10 years, I don't even remember who was nominated for the Oscars this year, to be honest, because everything is so boring. You
So
start
boring.
watching
Ooh,
it and
but
you think it's all a big production, but
we're
then
just
like
about
after 10
out of
minutes,
time, and I know you have to run as well. Thank you so
yeah,
much for
yeah.
your time, and thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing
No,
this.
thanks for
Anything
having
that we can do to promote and support the film, you can count on us. I will personally do anything I can do to support this film. This is the type of information and the type of movie that needs to get out there. So God bless you. And thank you for putting this together. Again, Citizen Vigilante. Don't pirate it. Go out and support it and stream it. Be right back here, Jack Posobiec, Human Events Daily.
We're going to call this the Jack Posobiec Appreciation Hour. I can say confidently, I think Josh Shapiro would be the vice presidential nominee if it wasn't for Jack Posobiec. And that is, I'm being honest.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. We're back, I should say, with the Poso experience here, at Human Events Daily, and we just had someone crash the show here. He's kind of just washed up from the beach. He's a beach bum. I seen him out there. I said, "Hey, what's going on?" And he just kind of wandered into the shot here at our undisclosed location at the Jersey Shore. What's up, Kev?
How we doing? How we doing?
Uh-oh.
Alert the authorities.
What do you got? What do you got here? What you got in your hand right there?
I got a America 250th
Oh my
little flag here
gosh. Oh my
on
gosh.
my freedom ride.
He's on his freedom ride for America 250. All right, now check this out. Because Kev, I got a question for you. Do you really want another summer like last summer? And I know about I know what you did last summer.
Oh,
You were barely sleeping, not because you're up all hours of the night doing extracurricular activities, but because you were too hot. And you were so hot. Now, I know you were thinking it was just summer, but it wasn't. You know what it was, Kev? It was your mattress. And for the record, folks, Kevin doesn't usually sleep on mattresses. He usually just sleeps in like a pile of socks or like unwashed laundry or on the beach, at
Rest
night.
stop on 95.
Yeah, rest stop on I-95. Yeah, we don't need to talk about all that. But Kev, this summer, you need to do what me and Tanya Tay did. You need to switch over to Ghost Bed. All right, because Ghost Bed will keep Kevin cool all night long. Kevin won't be waking up sweaty, fussy, tossing and turning, throwing the covers off at 2 in the morning. No, Kevin, you will get cooling technology that's built into every Ghost Bed mattress. Not some expensive upgrade. You heard about it?
I've heard about the cooling pillows, but not a whole mattress.
This is a whole mattress that which started with that technology. Now it's in the mattresses because of Ghost Bed. That's what they do.
Wow.
And it's not an upgrade. It comes with every single one. So if you're a hot sleeper, and Kevin, I know you're a hot sleeper. All right. I know this. You got to read the reviews. The support is there. There's less sniffness. You get deeper sleep. You're more rested in your mornings. I've loved it. You're going to love it too. And by the way, right now, Ghost Bed is going to give Kevin 101 nights to try it at home himself. That he can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference. How many more summers is Kevin going to waste on bad sleep? Right now, by the way, 4th of July sale for the 250th. Get it up. Get it up. Get it up.
There it is.
4th of July sale, Ghost Bed for the 250th is offering the Human Events audience 10% off. With financing, Ghost Beds come out to really just about $1 a day. Go to ghostbed.com/POSO and use promo code POSO. That's ghostbed.com/POSO and use powerful promo code
POSO.
POSO. All right, Kev. So we just, thanks for coming by. I appreciate this. And I got to tell you, so you've seen the film Citizen Vigilante now as well. And looking at it, just in the last couple of minutes I've been talking about it all week. We just had the director on and just very honored to have that conversation with him. What's your takeaway from this film? Why do you think the film was banned and why do you think it's getting so much attention online?
Well, it's getting so much attention because of the censorship. I thought we got rid of that in
I mean, that's a huge part of it, right?
2020.
Yeah.
We got.
It's the best thing they could do for the film.
Well, the point is, something's good when it's censored.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
that's what I was picking up on within the first couple of minutes, really. And I got to go back and watch it again, honestly, to get more into the actual,
Kev,
undertones of everything.
Kevin, were you watching the film while you're driving up I-95?
Well, I can neither confirm or deny.
Man,
Got to keep eyes on the road.
got to keep eyes on the road.
Yep.
I got to keep eyes on the road. But no,
Hands up on the
it
wheel.
look, eyes upon the road, hands upon the wheel. That's right. The future's uncertain. Future's uncertain, and the end is always near. And Kev, so what struck me though was in that final scene, right? And I know you've seen this clip, and I know you've seen, at least heard the ending, where he says it's not just about each individual in this. It's about the fact that millions upon millions of people who have a completely separate value system, a completely separate tribal system, because you see the family hovering for the rapist, the sister, the mom, the dad, all the friends, everyone in their group, everyone in their neighborhood, they're all covering for him. And he says, this is the problem. If it was just one individual, sure, you can take him, put him in jail or not, but then you can't even put him in jail because the judge won't do it.
Right.
It's that clash of civilizations again, with so many people coming from non-Christian, non-Western backgrounds. That's the issue.
That's totally the issue, Jack. It's great to see it being streamed, and I want more people to see it because it's almost like a real life documentary if you think about it.
Well,
We're seeing this pattern
he
across
just
the
told
world.
us. He
Yeah.
just told us. He ran through Irina Zarutska. He
Mhm.
talked about the gang rape in Hamburg, that multiple real life crimes that you see in the film. Now, the vigilante is not real, obviously, but the crimes actually are based on real incidents that have happened in just the last couple of years.
Yeah, and we're coming into a period of time where it's almost more let's say it's more censorable to be racist than it is to be a rapist.
No, exactly. When Kev, you just got
So
back from Ireland, where you faced censorship and you faced attacks from the media for
I did
reporting on what was
absolutely.
going on
They did
on the
not want me
ground
there.
on the ground in Ireland.
Yes, I did. I did that twice actually, and the liberal government in Ireland will tell you that Dublin is safe, that these kinds of crimes aren't happening, okay? And they're here to tell you that, we want you to come, there's going to be, there's great tourism. You can come see the architecture, all the Irish food, and this
Because
and that.
Irish American tourism is so big for Ireland. That's why they're
Oh, yeah.
fighting. That's what they're fighting against.
Yeah, the diaspora is gigantic. I think
Right,
there's 5 million Irish and 40 million
Yeah, exactly.
diaspora.
There's more Irish Americans than there are Irish citizens living in Ireland. So tourism, obviously, come see where you're from. That's a huge, huge market for them.
And it's very unique in that it's a homogenous country. It's
Well, it
still
was.
well as an island. You take 5 million people.
Yeah. No, you know what it reminds me of actually?
Mhm.
It's the mayor in Jaws. Remember the movie Jaws, where the mayor says, "There's no shark out there. Keep the beaches open. Everybody go back to the beach." And Chief Brody is sitting there going, "There's a shark, there's a shark." And they make him then they make him reopen the beaches
Right.
after he closes them down, and then the little kid gets eaten the next day.
Yeah, that's a great analogy actually, because
We just
it's almost like what we're dealing with now. It's like it's if it's a shark, if it's a great white killer, I mean, that's all they know how to do. That's how they've survived for centuries. And if we're up against um, almost animalistic types of behaviors and people,
It's obviously animalistic behavior.
so there's no really getting around it. You can't say that the great white shark is nice, or that if we put it in warmer water, it won't act like a great white shark. The great white shark it's going to kill baby seals every day. That's what it does.
It's gonna do what it's designed to do. Well, and funny enough, if you're just listening to it, you may have missed it. The very beginning, the opening title on Citizen Vigilante is "All behavior is based on instinct."
There you go.
There you go. A great white shark. It only does one thing, and more to the point, I don't want to have a conversation with the shark. Okay, I just want to shoot it with a harpoon. All right, like I got when he puts the gas tank right at the end.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Spoiler. He does get the shark at the end of Jaws.
Yeah. Well, that's the goal. We don't want to have to go through a movie like Jaws. We just want to be able
No,
to.
it's or you close the beach in the first place.
Yeah.
And in this case, the beach is migration. Close down the mass migration, and then suddenly, wow, the shark attacks don't happen when you get rid of the sharks. What a concept. What an incredible concept. Kev, do you think it's possible for people to do it in Europe?
I think
United
so.
States?
Europe, United States, for sure. I mean, we just have to. You gotta put your foot down.
Let's see the flag. You want to survive for another 250? You want to survive for another 250? This is how you do it. You got to clean up the streets. You got to clean up the countries.
Freedom ain't free.
Freedom ain't free. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, you have our permission to
lay ashore.
Lay ashore.